On the money tonight, the Federal Reserve's clearest signal yet that the economy is improving. New details of a recent Fed meeting show their officials have growing confidence the downturn is ending and that growth is likely to resume in the second half of this year. Of course, last year, when the entire financial system was on the brink of collapse, the government pumped in massive amounts of money to rescue banks. The 20 largest bailed out banks received $283 billion in taxpayer money. And today we learned the executives running those 20 troubled banks still received enormous paychecks. Here's Betsy Stark.
The worst financial crisis since the Great Depression took place on their watch. But 2008 was still a very rich year for the 20 bank CEOs whose firms received billions in taxpayer bailouts. Each took home an average of $13.8 million, while the average wage earner who paid for the bailout brought home less than $32,000. In other words, the average bank CEO earned 436 times the salary of the average wage earner and 34 times the salary of the president, all while presiding over an historic debacle.
Many Americans across the country are still suffering from this crisis, and yet the executives who led us into this mess stand to reap huge windfalls.
Today's report blasts the financial industry's top executives not only for their excessive pay, but also for profiting at their employees' expense. The authors calculate that the $3.2 billion the executives cumulatively earned over the last 3 years would be enough to bankroll 66 weeks of unemployment insurance for the 160,000 workers they collectively laid off since the beginning of last year.
No matter what happens, the executives always seem to come out ahead.
Industry advocates say the report is a jumble of twisted statistics and that the $13.8 million the bank CEOs averaged in 2008 represents a pay cut.
Their pay was reduced because their earnings were reduced, but they put these companies back on their feet during 2008. And thank goodness to the American people that they did that.
With the stock market up and banks on the mend,
good morning.
The CEOs are on course for an even bigger thank you this year. Betsy Stark, ABC News, New York.